Hi, my name's Teresa Miller and I'm a Principal Technologist with the Technology Advocacy Group at Cohesity. Today we're going to take a look at archiving your virtual machines and their data to Azure for long-term retention. So let's take a look at how we do this. So the first thing here is we have the Cohesity dashboard. In order to set up Azure Archival of your virtual machines, you're going to need to start out by going to Data Protection and Sources. When it comes to the sources, you just need to make sure that Azure is a registered source. So it has to be your Azure subscription, and you can see that we have that here. The other component that's important is you need to have an external target set up and registered in Cohesity. So this is the actual storage target. When it comes to Azure, it would be your storage account. And you can see I have one here for Azure Archive, Azure Cool Blob. I'm going to go ahead and just pull up Register External Target so you can see where I may have started. So my purpose is archival in this case, and my type is Azure. And so we have Azure Blob, Cool Blob, and Hot Blob as choices. Other things that you will need to get this set up is your container name, your storage account name, and your storage access key. Once those are in place, you'll be able to register, and then when you look at this list of targets, you'll see your archive target ready to go. Once that's all in place, you'll need a protection job. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at a protection job that I have set up. So what we have here is this TM Cloud job with my policy. We can see that this is meeting and running on its preferred SLA and it's completing. What you're going to see here is that I do have Azure Archive ready to go. But let's take a closer look. When I go in and edit this job, you can see that I have my vSphere environment as a source. I do have one virtual machine in place. This particular virtual machine, if we drill down into the menu, we'll be able to grab its name just for awareness. And there it is. It's the Win AV Apple 1. I'm going to go ahead and cancel since that's already selected. And the most important piece here is that we have our policy. So I have a policy that I created from here. It has a backup job occurring every day and being retained for 4 days. And it has a couple other features, but the one we're going to focus on for this demo is the archive to Azure. And that is set to run in conjunction with the backup. But the SLAs can be different from the backup and can be set to whatever is best for your enterprise. On top of that, there are some additional features that you can see, additional settings, where you have the ability to control end dates, for example, on your job. You can verify that indexing is in place and you can look at your specific SLAs. I'm going to go ahead and cancel since this is all set and running. We've confirmed that this has been archiving. And so with that, let's go ahead and take a look at how to do a recovery. Let's go ahead. We're going to go to Recoveries, and I'm going to go ahead and choose Recover. And I'm going to go ahead and recover the whole virtual machine. I'm filling in WinAV. I'll let the system do the search. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and pull from this TM Cloud job and click Continue. So when I am pulling a server back from Azure, the important element to this is right here. It's where I'm pulling the job from. So right now it's set to come from the local backup target on the 24th. I want to change that. I'm going to go ahead and say that I want this system back because let's say there's some corruption after some updates were run, and we're going to go ahead and switch that to come back from archive. I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And we will see that imagery also change here, the day, time, and it is now coming from Azure Archive. I'm going to go ahead, I do have the ability to recover back to an original location, but I'm going to go ahead and do a new location. So it's still going to be my vSphere host, and it's still going to be within the resource pools that I have set up there. I'm going to go ahead and choose my data store. And the most important part is that I'm choosing the folder I want to recover to, and I'm going to go ahead and demo restores. So in terms of the prefix, I'm going to go ahead and change that. We're going to go ahead and put in TM, and I'm going to do ARCHV for archive. And we're going to go ahead and leave that detached from the network just so we can review the virtual machine when it's done being recovered. And we're going to leave it powered off, again, just so we have a little bit more over control because of what's set on this. I'm going to go ahead and click Finish. And then this job is going to run. Typically, that would take a couple of minutes. Of course, that will vary depending on how much data is on your virtual machine and what's being pulled down out of the cloud. While we're waiting for this to complete, there's a couple things I would like to show you. One is in Azure. I'll just go ahead and show you the Azure storage account that I'm leveraging and where this archive is being stored based on the external target. And we'll wrap things up by taking a look at vSphere and closing out, validating that this recovery was successful. So first, let's go into Azure. So for me, my storage account is this tag events blob. And I'm going to go ahead and leverage Storage Explorer. And what I had set up here were some blob containers. This is the one specific for archive. And essentially, you're going to see a series of folders and files. This is essentially where all of the archived systems have been stored. One of the nice things about just peeking in here as well, you do get the date and timestamp validation if that's something that you're interested in. So this is where you can view the actual archived systems and the storage account. Now, if we go back to the job before we go to vSphere, we're just going to check on the status of this. So the job has now completed, and it really did take just a matter of minutes. And in terms of actually viewing this in vSphere as well, let's go ahead and click there. And in vSphere, you can also see that my machine has been restored. So you can see it's actually quite easy and simple to pull data back out of Cohesity when you've archived it into Azure.